Story time. Hi there, little friends. Welcome back to KidGlobe Explorers, where we bring you the best stories from around the world. Today, we have an amazing story about a little duckling who feels different, but discovers just how special he really is. Before we dive into the adventure, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, make sure to do so now. Just click the subscribe button below so you don't miss out on more magical stories like this one. Now, are you ready to join the ugly duckling on his journey? Let's go. Once upon a time, on a beautiful farm by a sparkling pond, there was a mother duck waiting for her eggs to hatch. One by one, the eggs began to crack open, and out popped the fluffiest, cutest little ducklings you could ever imagine. But one egg, the biggest one, was still sitting there, not moving at all. Finally, after waiting a bit longer, the last egg began to crack open. But when the little duckling waddled out, oh dear! He looked very different from the others. His feathers were gray instead of yellow, his neck was longer, and he was a bit bigger too. The other animals on the farm couldn't help but notice how unlike the other ducklings he was. "Oh, what an odd little fellow," said the other ducks. "He's not cute like the rest of his brothers and sisters." And so the little duckling felt very sad. He wondered, why don't I look like everyone else? Why am I so different? As days passed, the poor duckling was left out of games and fun. Everywhere he went, he felt like he didn't belong. He tried to be like the other ducklings, but no matter what, he couldn't change how he looked. Feeling lonely, he decided to leave the farm and go on a journey to find a place where he could fit in. The little duckling traveled far and wide, meeting many animals along the way. He met a group of kind geese who said, "You're not like us, but that's okay. You must keep going to find your own kind." Then he met some cheerful frogs by a pond, but they too told him, "You're not like us either, but don't give up. There's a place where you truly belong." The seasons changed, and the little duckling grew. Winter was cold and lonely, but the duckling stayed strong. By the time spring returned, he had grown into a magnificent bird with bright white feathers, a long, graceful neck, and beautiful wings. One day, as the duckling stood by the pond, he saw a group of elegant swans gliding across the water. They were the most beautiful birds he had ever seen. The duckling gazed at them in awe and wished he could be as graceful as them. Just then, one of the swans turned to the little duckling and said, "Why don't you swim with us?" Surprised and shy, the duckling joined them in the water. As he looked down at his reflection, he gasped. He wasn't an ugly duckling at all. He had grown into a swan, just like them. "I'm not different in a bad way," he thought. "I'm special." The other swans welcomed him warmly, and the once ugly duckling finally found where he truly belonged. And so, The little swan, who was never ugly, just different, lived happily ever after, knowing that being unique was a gift all along.